Before you go ahead and print your pattern, there's a couple of things to think about. And there's some really good information in your pattern guide. But basically what you want to do is print just the first page, which is this one here. And there's a test square. Now what you need to do is make sure that you're printing on your printer and you are not fitting the document to the paper. It has to be at 100% scale. These documents are set up to A4, so even if you did fit it to A4, there might be a slight change in the size, and in a loose fitted garment like this, actually it really probably wouldn't matter, but it's a really good habit to get into to make sure it is on actual size, not fit to page. And you want to print out the first page and just check this square with your ruler and make sure that your ruler is measuring 5 centimeters and that you are printing out in the correct size. Once you know that that's right, then you can go ahead and print the whole lot. Now, just because mine are printed in pink doesn't mean you have to print it in pink. You can print it in black and white. You'll see that the different colored lines for different sizes also actually have different line designs. So even if you print it in black and white like this one here to save colored ink, you will still be able to see which is your size. If you are printing in black and white and you see these nest of lines, what's a really great idea is to get your highlighter, and let's say you're printing this one here, size extra large. Just get your highlighter and just work out, so it's a sort of a shorter line and then a longer line. And so just get your highlighter and just color that line in all the way. It's going to make it easier to color. It'd be good if I had a highlighter that was actually working. But in this little nest of lines down here, don't get yourself too worried about it. If you're really not sure, just go smack bang in the middle. By the time you cut your fabric, it's going to all move around a little bit too. And it's a curved edge, this one. So when we fold it twice, there's going to be a fair bit of variation anyway. It's not a pattern that needs exact precision, so don't stress too much about this kind of thing. So this is a page that we want to really pay some attention to when we're assembling the A4 pattern. You'll see that you'll get 16 pages of printed out pattern. The first 4 are information about how to put it together in a bit of a story, and the last 12 are the actual patterns. So you could skip printing the first 4 and just read those on your phone to save some paper. What they will have is these 16 pages will be listed A1, A1, A2, A3, A4, B1, B2, B3, B4, and so on. So we're going to stick the whole first row. And again, you don't need to stick A1 in the A row in this pattern because they don't need to be joined. But once we get to these rows, we want to stick the horizontal rows together first. So we'll get the 4 pages. And how we do this, these don't actually, you don't have to cut it. So this is not actually the right next page. But you see this circle up here? We want to align, match up on this little dotted line and align these circles just like that. Now this is not the right 2 pages to go together, but just to give you the idea. So once you've got your circles matched up and your line met, your pattern will go back together. And I'm just going to show you on my pre-cut one here. So here's an example. You can see here I've missed a tiny bit, like it's out by maybe 2 millimeters, and a tiny bit here as well. That's not the end of the world. We'll just cut our pattern straight and ignore those little bits. That's not a big deal. And so you can see here again, there's another proper junction. So when you get your 2 pieces, you want to row a sticky tape that goes the whole way, and then you're going to join the next page. So we would sticky tape here, and then we would do the next one. And if there were pattern pieces, we would line them up. So I'm just going to go back to this piece here. You can see when we've joined this one, we've made sure that these things line up as here as close as we can. So we're going to do rows like this and then join 2 rows together. In this case, it'll be 3 rows together. So if you're unsure, you just follow these instructions. There's also some really good pointers about printing. So this is an overview of the This Time tee. So I'm just going to go ahead and just chop out my main pattern piece here, so it's a bit easier to work with. And then I'm just going to make sure that I've got all the pieces stuck together within that pattern piece really nice and securely. Pieces like this don't matter because they're not going to become part of my actual pattern. We want the actual pattern to be nice and stuck together well. And now what I'm going to do is cut size M on my pattern, which is this solid pink line. And up here, I can just chop that bit off. I just want to follow my line. So the colors are also on here, and there's a size guide on your sheet, which we've already talked about. So I'm using my paper scissors, not my fabric scissors, to be chopping out this pattern like this. The good thing about having patterns on this sturdy paper is if you want to use them again, if you just fold them up nice and flat, it's really easy to reuse them. And then this is my folded edge. Center front. Again, my lines weren't exactly precisely here, but that's okay. And so here I've got my front pattern, and I'm going to do the same for my back.